Hey y'all, Cory here from Grow Ensemble, and in this video I'm going to show you how I am planting a fruit tree here for the very beginnings of our home food forest in San Antonio, Texas. So first off, talking about the planting season, it's just the start of winter here in San Antonio, although it may not look like it. It is in the mid 70s right now, but planting here in winter versus spring, fall could also be a good option, but the goal here is to get this freeze hardy peach tree, into the ground before we have the opportunity for some spring growth. And as well, given the nature of how hot Texas is and how little rainfall and water we can have generally, moving from spring to summer, I think it's better to get a tree of this nature in the ground either in fall or winter. So first things first, what we're going to do, I've got the site marked here, which will be a subject for future videos talking about the design of our food forest here. I'm sure maybe there's a mistake or two in there in that design, but I've chosen this location for this peach tree, a very beautiful tree when blooming for a particular reason. And so first steps after picking the right site for the tree, we're going to start by digging a hole that is ideally going to be as deep as the available root ball here, and maybe 1.5 to 2 times as wide as the root ball. And so you may notice that this ground here has already been sheet mulched. I've covered this with cardboard earlier this spring, and so there are some weeds that are rather resilient sprouting up through, but the goal here of this sheet mulch was to clear a lot of non-native, pretty aggressive St. Augustine grass. So within reason, that's done pretty well. We're gonna end up doubling the layer of mulch later on, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So first things first, let's get digging. So I think we got a pretty decent hole dug here. Just do a quick spot check. Yeah, I think that should be great. The goal is to make the graft here, as this is a grafted peach tree. We want that to be about 6 inches above the soil, and I think we'll achieve that. If it's an inch or two less, that's okay as well. When I'm getting the tree here out of its container, I want to do my best to try and keep the root ball together as best I can. We'll see how well this sticks together as I tilt it over. But along those lines as well, starting already to think about the placement of the tree specifically in the hole. You can see already here it's a little bit of a windy day, and so the wind is coming from what is the southwest. These are the prevailing winds in San Antonio as it comes up from the Gulf of Mexico. And so what I would like to do is make sure, and I already know this, that's southwest, that the grafted union will be facing the southwest winds, so that the graft between this La Feliciana variety, which is grafted on, I believe it's a Nemagard rootstock, that it is the wind is blowing in to the grafted union. And so I'll as well make sure to cite all the sources down below where I've got my information from for folks who want to dive deeper. But I know the winds are prevailing from the southwest, so I want to make sure that union is blowing, or the wind is blowing into the grafted union versus away. So let's go ahead and get this tree into the hole. We even have some winds coming from a little bit different direction, but let's see how well we can do this here. All right. So if anything's root bound, we can break that up just a little bit, but it's not too bad. Everything looks pretty good. So let's get it placed as I had mentioned. I wanted it before because of those winds as well. Let's get in there. And then what we can start to do is then backfill it with that soil. We're gonna wait to make amendments to the soil until it's filled with what we have. You know, this isn't always a perfect combination, but the goal is to keep soils typically as consistent as you can to what it is that you found, or that the pot came in. But you know, we have really heavily clayey soils here on our property, and that's not usually when I'm going to be getting any of our plants from nurseries with. It's typically a bit more sandy. Let's go ahead and backfill this and talk about what's next. Next, I'm gonna clip off some of this younger growth here on the bottom. Not really important to focus on at the moment. We'll keep that. Let's get our tag off. We'll leave that for now. Might be something that we prune later on. So with the soil backfilled now, this will be when we start to make our amendments, starting with some finished compost. So we'll go ahead and add a healthy layer of finished compost as our first amendment to the soil. Give this peach tree a really good, healthy start. And then for the next step here, before we finish it off with some of the wood chip mulch that you see here, we're gonna lay down some cardboard sheet mulching, adding an additional layer of cardboard on top of the sheet mulch above what used to be a St. Augustine grass lawn. The goal here being to create a really strong perimeter to deter any competition from this peach tree early on. Likewise, you know, start to think about some combination plantings as we build out various guilds and companion plantings in our food forest for the future. So I'm gonna run and grab some cardboard. Sheet mulch down. Now we're gonna go ahead and add wood chips to the entire perimeter. This wood chips that we got from a chip shop for free a while back. Want to make sure our wood chips aren't touching the trunk of the tree. And then the last thing I do here is go ahead and water this everything in, the tree itself to settle it in, as well as the cardboard and the wood chip mulch. I'm gonna water lightly because we did actually have a pretty decent winter rain last night here in San Antonio, but I'll maybe add a gallon or two of water to help settle everything in to finish it out. All right, peach tree in the ground. Again, this is how I do it. If folks have any other suggestions or might point out where I could do something differently, feel free to let me know. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned for future updates on our food forest here in San Antonio, Texas.